I think I've always been a coach, because people always have come to me and offloaded their woes and fears
Okay.
and thoughts. So it's always been something that people have done to me. So I think it's just something that I've formalized now, really.
Okay, because you mentioned before to me that complete strangers randomly come up to you
Oh,
in all sorts of places to talk to you. But was
absolutely.
it always like that at work as well previously when you worked in corporate, that people would just come up to you and tell their
My
stories?
daughter, when she was tiny, she used to say to me, I remember clearly one day she said to me, Mummy, why do people come and tell you all their secrets? I
I
remember
don't know.
saying to her,
You
Charlotte,
must have
I
any.
don't know. I wish they wouldn't.
Oh my word. Okay, you didn't really like that. Man, you are supposed.
I like it because it made me feel chosen, I suppose. But
Yes.
sometimes, it's like, really, I don't. Often my response was, really, why are you telling me? Because I'd be literally walking around the supermarket and people would be telling me all sorts of their deepest, darkest.
How strange. You
It's
must have an
unbelievable.
incredible aura around
Well,
you.
yes, was it yesterday? On Wednesday. What day is it today? It's Friday, isn't it? On
Friday.
Wednesday, I was at one of my properties having the BT guy engineer was there, putting a new internet in for me, and it was only supposed to take half an hour, but it ended up taking a couple of hours because we had a problem. And he literally told me, and I could see he told me this story about his ex-girlfriend when he was traveling. As it came out, I could see his face. He was shocked that he'd revealed such a deep thing to
That's.
me. And he said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but you're so easy to talk to." And I was
Well,
like,
there you
"No,
go.
no, no,
There's,
it's
there's your
fine."
answer.
Yeah.
So, how is that helping you in your coaching business?
Well, it's brilliant. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. People seem to open up to me with no trouble whatsoever. People tell me all sorts of stuff, which is amazing because I don't have to do too much questioning. I can literally just start the conversation and it
And
all
then you
comes
you
pouring
literally
out.
physically open the floodgates and people talk to you.
Absolutely. It all comes pouring out and it's amazing. So people do seem to feel pretty comfortable and
That sounds
open.
really good. So,
It's
what's
good.
the specialism of your coaching business?
It's transformational
Right.
coaching, and I and trauma based. I would say
Okay.
because that's what I've experienced. So the reason why I've started doing this is based off my experience. So
Okay.
what happened was and how I became the HMO queen and this whole coaching thing was back in 2021, well, 2020 actually. I was very, very ill
Right.
and I actually thought I was going to die.
Okay.
It,
Were you? Was it the illness? Was it something that they told you that it was terminal, or you just felt
no,
so
it
bad?
was, they didn't tell me anything, Ildiko.
Interesting.
I used to work for the NHS. That was what my job was before. And I spent all my career in the NHS, quite senior management. And they let me down. And I was in public health during COVID, and I got so ill that I ended up bedridden, and I just couldn't do anything. I was in so much pain. I was gone from working 18-hour days to sleeping for 18 hours.
Blimey, that's
I, it was
quite a
horrendous.
flip of your life,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, the rug was pulled from underneath me. I had no life. I was in agony and nobody helped me. Yeah, okay, fair enough. It was COVID and the world had turned upside down.
Yes, it did.
But my world turned upside down and nobody helped me. My GPs, my colleagues, nothing. I was abandoned completely.
I was
Um,
yeah. So knowing a little bit of your story, I was wondering if it was like HR, the HR side of things, that was a major letdown.
Massively.
But was it the physical health help as well? Like you couldn't actually see therapists or
There
specialists
was
to
nobody.
find out what
The
was wrong
G-
with you.
I wrote begging emails to my GP, begging for help, and they just didn't.
God, it's painting a pretty grim picture of the COVID times were for some people I was fortunate that I never really got ill.
I don't
with
necessarily
anything.
believe that it was necessarily because of COVID. I just think they couldn't help me. They just, I think COVID was pretty much of an excuse, really. It ended up that I had fibromyalgia, and fibromyalgia is something that's not something that gets diagnosed particularly easily,
Right.
or often. Anyway, I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and having a label is great because then you know what it is, but
you can start making a progress to get yourself
you can start
better.
making progress. But then another thing happened. I started getting fits.
Right.
I woke up in the middle of the night, 3:00 in the morning, with this absolutely horrendous headache. Steve, my partner, ended up calling an ambulance because it was just horrific, and I got rushed to hospital, and my whole body was shaking, and I was just having this fit, and I ended up in hospital for 3 weeks,
right,
with full body convulsions.
Blimey.
And again, they didn't know what was wrong with me. I had all the electrodes on my head, I had all the blood tests, and in the end, they gave me an MRI scan because they needed to see if I had a brain tumour or a stroke or something like that. And the day they got the results and they found out that I didn't have a tumour, it was like that they ticked their box to say they're not culpable. Out.
Blimey. So what did you do then?
I went home and suffered. No support, Ildiko. I went home and continued to have the fits with no support. It was horrific. That was it. So what did I have to do? I had to support myself. I had to make my own decisions. So eventually it took me 18 months after that to get a diagnosis of FND.
What
Functional neurological disorder. Another F word. So I've got fibromyalgia, functional neurological disorder. So
we're gonna come back to the
my life's all about F words.
Yes. So after 18 months, then you pivoted your life. So what did you do to literally start the rest of your life?